A pregnant mother of 7 shot and killed as she sat on her couch in her living room.
Roland Butitsi and the rest of this Congolese family is in mourning for the 2 lives lost Sunday night.
A pregnant mother of 5 shot and killed as she sat in the car with the father of her children and all 5 of her kids.
I have to think that this would take place.
Another first-time mother shot, 16 weeks pregnant, on the interstate, leaving a restaurant with her boyfriend.
On the interstate, a pregnant woman is shot while riding in a car. And now police are searching for the person who pulled the trigger.
Three women murdered, all pregnant, all within 6 weeks in the same city. Louisville, Kentucky, the most populated metro area in the state that sits on the border of Indiana. With a population of 380,000, the population has rose significantly during the pandemic. With no signs of crime slowing down anytime soon, someone is shot or killed almost every day in the city of Louisville. Most American cities aren't as safe as they were before 2020. But when you have a city with a crime index of 500, meaning the safest, you have what we call a war zone. Shania Summers was a smart, witty, motivated 20-year-old with a bright future. She loved her parents and they raised her with love. Shania was very involved in her school and she stayed busy. Her parents was very proud and made sure that she graduated on time. After graduating high school, Shania caught the entrepreneur spirit, which made her want to see more and do better. Shania went and applied for her first home October of 2021. That was a little bit after she found out she was pregnant. And when she told everyone, the whole family was happy. Everyone knew that Shania would make a great mother. She was very family-oriented, and she was always the person that kept everyone together, no matter what. That's just how she was raised. She was very close with her dad, and she looked up to her mom in so many ways. She was ready to be a mother. Everybody was super excited and couldn't wait to meet little Mackenzie Lee.
On the interstate, a pregnant woman is shot while riding in a car. And now police are searching for the person who pulled the trigger. Good evening to you. I'm Jennifer Bayless.
And I'm Stefan Dingle. The 20-year-old woman is in the hospital tonight. She was shot on the Watterson Expressway early this morning near the Cane Run Road exit in Shively.
Such a scary situation. WLKY's Alexis Matthews has the latest tonight on the investigation from police who believe this was a targeted shooting.
Police cars blocked the Watterson Expressway early Tuesday in the latest shooting incident on the interstate this month. According to police, a couple was driving on I-264 from Cane Run Road when someone in another car opened fire.
We don't believe that this is a random thing. By the manner that this happened, it appears that they were targeted. Why they were targeted at this point, we don't know why.
The man driving was not hurt. Police say he took the nearest exit to get the injured pregnant woman help.
The driver took her to a location that was close by to a family member, and then they went from that location to a fire station on Manslick Road.
After assisting the woman at the Louisville fire station, EMS then transported her and her unborn child here to U of L Hospital. Shively police are leading the investigation to find who committed this act of violence. Councilwoman Keisha Dorsey, who lives and represents the area, is pushing for this type of violence to end altogether.
At what point do you stop? At what point does it hit home? At what point does it take a toll?
It's a toll that Dorsey and the community are reeling from, and that she says is the direct result of lack of resources in underserved neighborhoods.
The violence is infuriating because of the nature of it. But Alexis, we have been used to death, and we have been used to being deprived. We are tired.
A tired feeling of losing young lives that will only be alleviated collectively.
We all will suffer if we don't come together.
From Shively, Alexis Matthews, WLKY News.
Thank you, Alexis. And police say so far no suspects have been arrested. Detectives are reviewing surveillance video from nearby businesses on Cane Run Road to help in the case.
Shania passed away December 3rd after 4 days of fighting for her life in the hospital with her family, her best friend, and her sisters by her side. Shania's legacy will live on through her mother, her father, her sisters, and all of her friends who loved her dearly, and they still hold her close to their hearts. Shelby police are suspecting that it was a targeted shooting because the way that it was carried out right off of the interstate exit. Shania had her whole life ahead of her, and something like this should have never happened.
If I had wings of a dove, I would fly away.
There they go, yeah.
Jakia Holt, a 36-year-old pregnant mother of 5 with a promising future. She was an optimist and her family was her life. As a kid, she was raised with strong family values in a Christian home. Her mother, being a minister, raised her to love God and always put God first. Jakia was the type of mother who loved being a mother with a passion. She always put her kids first, and she loved each and every one of them. She had 5 kids and was currently pregnant with 1 child. Some people are born to be mothers. Jakia Holt was one of those people. Jakia was very happy to be pregnant with her 6th child, and so was her other kids. Everything seems like it was coming together just fine.
The Shawnee neighborhood where a pregnant Jakia Holt was found in a crashed car. She was shot multiple times and died days later at the hospital.
To have to think that this would take place.
It's hard for a mom
It's unbelievable.
to put it into words.
Unimaginable.
Her baby girl
Because
is gone.
she was a giver. she'd give you the shirt off her back. If it was the last she had, she would do that.
36-year-old Jakia Holt was found shot multiple times in a crashed car at 38th and Bank Streets on January 3rd. Police believe the shooting happened a few blocks away at Northwestern Parkway and Bank Street. She was rushed to the hospital.
To believe that there's a possibility that she would make it. I think that a lot of families, that's what they do. They believe that maybe they have just an inkling of hope that she gonna make it. Because that was my thought process.
She died 5 days later. Holt was pregnant with her 6th child.
They cry out for their mother. It's hard.
Her youngest was 9 months old.
She traveled with them, she took them out, she spent time with them, she played with them, everything was about her babies. Everything.
And she won't stop fighting until those kids see justice for Jakia.
They know who they are, and I know justice will be served. I'm definitely gonna do all I can to make sure it does.
To help her get through the pain of losing her daughter. No one has been arrested. Police are still investigating this case. In Louisville.
The father of 3 of her children was with Jakia that day that she was shot. He was the driver of the car. He fled the scene, leaving Jakia and her 5 kids in the back seat.
Family laid to rest this week. A pregnant Louisville woman gunned down at the start of the new year. Jakia Holt was shot several times inside her car with her children in the back seat. WLKY's Shaquille Lord spoke with her father, who has more questions than answers.
It's hard to let go. You know, it's hard to let go of somebody that you love, and especially a mom with kids. I mean, how do you let go?
James Holt says the death of his daughter, 36-year-old Jakia Holt, still doesn't feel real.
I don't think people realize that when you pull that trigger, that person is not coming back. And that person's family has had to deal with the pain that gun violence has caused.
The pregnant mother of 5 was gunned down inside her car January 3rd at Northwestern Parkway at the edge of the Shawnee and Portland neighborhoods. We're told she wasn't alone in the car at the time.
There was kids in the back seat when the car got shot up. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't just her in the car.
Miraculously, none of them were hit by the gunfire. James tells me they were praying for a miracle as she was in the hospital fighting for her life. But with no brain activity, her family decided to pull the plug last weekend.
It was just pain and anguish to see my daughter laid up like that.
Police tell us at this point they have no leads into a possible motive or a suspect. There's been nearly 10 homicides in the first 2 weeks of 2022, including another pregnant woman who was gunned down a week later. The deadly violence just continuing from what Louisville saw in 2021 with more than 180 criminal homicides.
Why? You know, it's too much senseless murder, too many unsolved murders in this city.
But no tears for James right now. He says his focus includes the mental well-being of his grandchildren and hoping for answers.
I'm sure I'm not the only dad or only parent asking why, but the murders are senseless. They have to stop.
Jakia's family has now been left to raise her 5 children, with her youngest child being only 1 year old. Jakia held on to her life until January 8th. This remains an open case. The grandmother and grandfather are doing their best. Nyota Bawili, a Congolese woman who had moved from Florida to Louisville, Kentucky for new opportunities with her 7 kids and her husband. They felt safe and was very happy in their new home. Nyota had only been in her new place for 6 months when she sat on her couch to enjoy a night of TV with her husband and her children.
Sunday morning say they're trying to figure out why she died.
Police confirmed today the death of the unborn baby means that the one shooting has 2 victims. WLKY's Gladys Bautista says that the family is in shock since they came to the United States trying to escape violence.
The saying that being at the wrong place at the wrong time doesn't really lost its meaning, because their family was at the right place at the right time and still.
Roland Butitsi and the rest of this Congolese family is in mourning for the 2 lives lost Sunday night. Butitsi translated for Patrick Pili, who lost his wife, 39-year-old Nyota Bawili, and their unborn child Sunday night. His wife was shot as she sat in the living room of their home on Wabash Place. Their 13-month-old child was just feet away.
And all of a sudden, they heard a gunshot, and then they look around, and then his wife was on the ground.
Much of the shock for this tight-knit Congolese community comes from knowing Bawili came to this country from a war-torn homeland, looking for a better life. The family arrived in the U.S. nearly 6 years ago, first living in Florida, then relocating to Louisville 6 months ago for more opportunity and to be near family. Butitsi explains Bawili's husband is now trying to figure out how to move forward.
She took his best friend away. And as a widow of 7 kids, with the last being a 13-month-old, he doesn't know where to start and when to finish.
In the meantime, the grief for Bawili's husband is coupled with confusion as he wonders why his wife and unborn child's American dreams were cut short.
He couldn't say. He couldn't tell what happened, if it was an accident or somebody they were target. But knowing that they have no issue with anybody in the city, there's more question to be asked than answer to be given.
The family now hopes that whoever is responsible comes forward so they can get justice and closure. Reporting in downtown Louisville, Gladys Bautista, WLKY News.
Nyota passed away on the same day from the gunshot wound. The Louisville police are still looking for the shooter, and this remains an open case.